One of the things we love about coming to these events, it's great to see all the presentations, but Keymark was built on one thing, and that's customers.
Absolutely. Yep.
We're nothing without customers.
Yep.
And we get to hang out with them, get to know them,
Yeah.
talk about their pain points. And one of the things I think gets lost in AI conversation is not really tying it to all of the years of work that they've already done in setting up, for instance, workflows.
Exactly. Yeah.
I knew we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Unpack that a little bit, because I think, oh yeah, workflows, well fine, but let's talk about AI. Like you can't talk about AI and not talk about the workflow, what it does, how it transforms it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right. And I think that one of the things that we're seeing as we talk to customers is, yes, there is and will be a lot of opportunities as it relates to this data at rest, but the near-term opportunity, the speed to value opportunity, is to re-examine the customers, our workflow, or our customers have built these workflows. We've helped them build these workflows to automate processes, but there's kind of two pieces of that are worth revisiting. One is those workflows effectively required the customer to anticipate every iteration of exception that might ever happen and effectively pre-code into that workflow everything that they can come up with that scenario-wise that might ever happen.
Like a bunch of enterprise if-then statements.
Yes, precisely. Yeah. And then that's it. Those are the rules. I used to, kind of have a running joke that if you walked in at the beginning of an AP project and you brought in the whole AP team and there's 10 people in the room, you said, all right, an invoice hits the mailroom, then what happens? The number of answers you get would be synonymous with the number of people in the room. Well, the beauty of workflow, if you will, is you codify that down to one. There's one, but once those rules are set, they're set. There's no ability for that workflow to adapt based on changing circumstances. And this is where the agentic piece becomes so interesting, as you go from this idea of the playbook, all right, it's set, this is what we're running every single time, to an agent or agents that can now use the context of the particular transaction and react in real time in a way a workflow never could. And it's not about saying, well, agents have to replace the workflow. Oftentimes it's saying in that workflow, there's a point here, and a point here where an agent will do a better job than the workflow ever could. I think that's relatable for customers, and I think it's probably the fastest route to value. And I think that, as we start to see customers take even a single process and do that, the light bulb is going to happen. They're going to go, oh my gosh, I got 10 more of these.
Yeah, and I think that's, so important. We kind of keep harping on this, and that is, don't try to solve every problem.
Right.
And you've got content.
That's
Most everybody has some content repository. And if you're a Highland customer, you have OnBase, you're sitting on just an absolute wealth of knowledge that is completely untapped.
Well, and we saw a demo on stage yesterday that I found really interesting. And I'll be interested to hear more from our customers if it resonated. So there was a scenario where, the invoices come up and there was no PO number on the invoice. In a workflow, that's just going to go to a manual handling exception, right? This person's got to go look at that. Well, the agent has the ability to say, okay, there's no PO number, but there is, a laundry list of items that we ordered that, with quantities, with dollar amounts, with the vendor name, and with everything else, that the agent could, connect to an MCP layer to the ERP and say, is there a match out here? Oh, there's our PO number. Bring it back. And then I think most importantly, that it then not only did it present that information for a user to validate, which is critical, and not just move it on, but also it gave the reasoning that it used to come up with it, and didn't just say, hey, I found the number, but said, I went to the ERP, I found these matching items, this is what I came up with for the PO number, and now of course I'm going to accept that, move on. And so you've accomplished so much in seconds with that versus a human having to go out and do all those things.
Well, even if it did just supply the PO, even if it did just supply the PO, then the human still got to go back and figure out if that was really correct. But when it gives context, and I love that, it's been talking about that a lot lately.
Yes.
The contextual element of AI is a game changer, because what you just said, this is why I did it.
Exactly.
And you go, a human could go, oh, got it, that makes sense, and
Makes
I can
perfect
pass
sense.
it on. Otherwise,
Correct.
they go, all right, well, they threw this number in
Yeah.
there, I'm just going to.
What are you going to do? You hit yes, and I hope.
Yeah.
So I think to that point, and it's interesting, you're starting to actually see some regulation in the AI world about that kind of thing. You can't just give me the answer, you got to tell me how you got the answer, which by the way, was my most hated moment in math class. I was good with giving you the answer, but once you said show your work, I'm like, I'm out.
Don't
done.
get me started on
Right.
that.
Exactly.
But I was a math teacher.
Oh, geez.
I didn't understand what my teacher would teach me. He showed me one way, got the answer right on the test, but failed it because I did it not the way that,
Yeah. Show your work's where I
we
stopped.
digress.
But AI, we want him to show his work.
Yeah.